A deadline on the stimulus package could mean make it or break it for the entire bill. Also, an update on the Medicare Part B premium for 2022 and what they're currently doing right now to get more money into the pockets of Social Security beneficiaries each and every month. And how Americans are currently feeling right now about the United States economy. All of that plus more in this video, so let's get into it right away. But if you haven't done so yet, or if you happen to be new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button right down below the video so I can keep you updated each and every day with all of this information that continues changing very rapidly. I'm doing all the research on your behalf so that you don't need to, and I bring it back in these short videos so that you can stay tuned with everything going on, and ultimately I want to do whatever I can to make sure that you're staying updated as well as getting as much money and benefits as you possibly can out of these multi-trillion-dollar stimulus packages as well as all of these other changes that are happening right now. So again, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate your support. Subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and let's get into this right away. All right, so once again, we have a lot to talk about in this video. So let's buzz through these one at a time. All right, first off, a handful of Democrats are becoming increasingly concerned about this deadline that has been self-imposed by Chuck Schumer. By the way, the deadline, I've mentioned it many times in previous videos, but that is Christmas Day, and it is coming relatively fast here, right? It's only a couple weeks away, but this is the date in which Chuck Schumer wants to have the stimulus package fully passed. Well, everybody recognizes that, and some Democrats are starting to step forward, primarily progressives, who are getting to be a little bit worried about this timeline, saying, if we can't get it done by then, we're fearing that it could be a make it or break it type situation for the entire bill. Because here's the thing, if they happen to leave by Christmas and they do not have the bill done, they fear that by the time that they come back after the holidays, that many of these Democrats could just completely forget about the bill, or when they're home in their own districts, they may say, well, you know, we may not need this after all, right? So they're starting to fear that this could be a complete just reversal on the entire bill, and this could crash the entire thing. So which is why we're starting to see these massive pushes right now to get this bill actually done before the holidays. So like a couple weeks here, right? So we're pretty much pushing on the deadlines right now. But this is something that I'm going to say right now, let's not worry about it. And the reason I say that is because we've seen this happen so many times in Congress. They come out and they start to fear and they worry about things and they say, if we don't do it by then, we're going to lose it all, right? We're going to lose everything and it's not going to happen. We've seen this play out so many times. So I'm pretty much going to call it right now that I'm going to say, don't worry about it. If they do not get it passed by Christmas, which again is totally up in the air right now, it could happen, and at the same time, it could not happen. If it is delayed beyond that, I'm just going to go ahead right now and say, I wouldn't worry about it. If they come back after Christmas, maybe the week after or the week after New Year's, whenever they decide to pick it up, if they don't get it passed, I'm going to say, I wouldn't worry about it, simply because we've seen this happen so many times previously, where they start to worry about things and say, if we don't get it done now, we're going to lose everything. And then sure enough, shortly thereafter, they come back whenever it is later, a week, a month, who knows how much longer, and they ultimately get it done anyway, right? So we see all this drama within Congress. So again, just don't worry about it. I'll keep you updated as we get more information. But again, I think this is just another way for them to kind of step forward and kind of throw some fear behind it and say, we're going to lose it all. Let's step up and get it done right now, right? So again, just don't worry about it. So anyway, that's kind of my message about the stimulus package. All right. Let's quickly talk about an update on the Medicare Part B premium. Now, this is actually pretty good, and this would impact about 60 million beneficiaries, most of which receiving Social Security, retirement, disability, SSDI, and survivor's benefits. Now, why do I say that? Because the vast majority of these beneficiaries also have Medicare Part B coverages. Well, we know, unfortunately, in a matter of a couple weeks from now, the Medicare Part B premium increase will be kicking in, and that new premium for 2022 is going to be $170.10. Not a good situation. However, Just a few days ago, Bernie Sanders drafted that letter which he sent to the president. I talked about that previously a few days ago, asking the president to support the idea of taking out about $10 of that premium to help these Medicare beneficiaries and Social Security beneficiaries because they're pretty much prepaying for this new Alzheimer's prescription. Well, not only that, we have Bernie Sanders with the letter, but now we have Ron Wyden, who's also a very powerful and influential senator, reaching out saying that seniors should not be paying a surcharge, and he's asking them to do whatever they can to walk back and reconfigure like some of these this Medicare Part B premium. So in other words, basically what these two guys are calling on the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services to do is basically repeal about $10 worth of the benefit. Of the premium, not the benefit necessarily, the premium for 2022. So like I've said previously in other videos, this would reduce the Medicare Part B premium by about $10 or $11 or so, bringing it down to about $159 per month versus the $170.10 of what it's going to be in 2022. Now, I get it. It's not a huge savings, but at this time, $10 would be better than paying $10 more. I'd rather have an extra $10 in my pocket at the end of the month versus less than 10, right? You know what I mean? So more money in our pockets, more money in our bank accounts, more money on our Direct Express cards is ultimately a much better thing at the end of the day versus less money, right? Even if it's only $10, it's still $10. It's all counts, right? Every penny counts. So hopefully the president will step up and do something about this, or hopefully somebody will reconfigure this whole thing and reduce the Medicare Part B premium, because basically it's just all prepayment right now for this new Alzheimer's prescription that could be taking place. And it's not even confirmed yet if Medicare Part B will actually be even paying for it. So basically everybody's paying into it, but not even knowing if it's going to be being paid for by Medicare Part B. So can you figure that one out? Yeah, I think a lot of us are scratching our heads on that one, right? So let's get into a report here talking about confidence across Americans right now when it pertains to the United States economy. Well, I think a lot of us right now can probably anticipate where this report is going to go, but let me tell you some numbers anyway. According to a new poll, 46% of Americans who responded to the poll said that the economy is likely going to be worse in 1 year versus what it is currently. So 46% of people are suggesting that the economy will actually be worse over the next 12 months. Meanwhile, 30% of people said that they think the economy will actually get better. So you can see that, about a third of the more people are actually thinking the economy will be worse in another year from now. Meanwhile, 61% of respondents said that they think the economy is headed in the wrong direction. That's a large percentage. 61% said that the economy is headed in the wrong direction right now. So 29% of these people are pointing toward inflation as to why they believe the economy is going to be in a much worse situation. So again, you can see a lot of people are really, really concerned about inflation right now. This is pretty obvious. I think all of us, every single one of us, are feeling the effects of inflation. Every time you step out your door and you want to go buy something, regardless of what it is, you're probably paying higher today than what we were just not that much longer ago, right? A month ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, we're definitely paying significantly more these days than what we were just a short time ago. So mostly a lot of the items that are like the consumables, things like that we buy on a regular basis, like meat products. If you're buying any kind of meat product, you're paying significantly more today than what you were just not even that much longer ago, since the beginning of the year. For example, like chicken, pork, bacon, for example, ground beef, any of these types of products are up anywhere between about 10% and over 20%. So significantly higher. Yeah. So anyway, it's kind of a sad situation. One other report I saw out there as well I want to talk about. According to another poll that was out, this is kind of interesting. And again, as you know, I do not take sides in my videos. I simply tell you the information as I find it. 37% of Democrats who were polled said that they do not want to see President Biden on the ticket again for the presidential nominee in 2024. So, yeah, I guess take it or leave it. I guess that's just what they're saying. It is only 37% of people do not want to see President Biden on there once again. So I mean, that doesn't look very good, right? So anyway, one more thing here I want to talk about really quickly is, as we know here, next week, the child tax credit payments are going to be sending out their last round of payments. December 15th will be the last round of those payments. Now, these are the monthly checks that go out to about 38 million families right now and individuals who have children under the age 17 and younger. Now, these payments will be ending after next week's payment unless they pass the stimulus package or an extension to the child tax credit payments. Well, a new report coming out is saying that if they do not actually extend these payments, that roughly 10 million children will be falling into poverty once again. And as I always say, when I see reports like this, I say, that's good. We got to watch out for the kids, right? Kids are always very important. We got to watch out for them. But at the same time, I always look at those reports and think, okay, oh, that's great about the kids. Nice. We don't want to have any kids falling in poverty. But at the same time, what about the seniors? What about the people with disabilities? What about the elderly? What about everybody else falling into poverty right now? Does anybody care, or is it just me, or what's going on here, right? I think all of us in this community are always asking the same question. What about all of us? You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just every single time I see these reports and information like this about the child tax credit, again, please don't get me wrong. I feel like let's take care of the kids. That's great. But at the same time, what about everybody else? What about the millions of seniors? What about the millions of people with disabilities who maybe can't work because their disability doesn't allow them to work, and they're living on maybe SSDI or SSI, and they're getting, $800 a month from their benefit? What about all these people? I don't know. It just frustrates me so much to see a lot of attention on certain groups, but yet no attention for so many other millions of people out there who are still struggling so much. I just wish that there was so much more, attention for millions of other people who need it during this time. So anyway, I always want to bring that up just because we need to address this. It's only fair, right? Everybody in this country always says, you got to make the country fair. Okay, if we're going to make it fair, then what about all the other people that are struggling right now? If you want to make it fair, then we got to make it fair for everybody, right? Across the board, everybody, regardless of age, regardless of anything else, we got to make it fair for everyone. So anyway, this is what I found for you as of right now. Again, another very busy day ahead of us. We've already had quite a few things here that I've talked about in this video, but a lot more to come, as I imagine. So again, thanks so much for watching this. I really do appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Go back and check out some of the nearly 2,000 videos right here on the channel. And of course, feel free to share this one or any others here on the channel with your friends, family, and social media. Thanks again. I really do appreciate it. I'll catch you later in the next